Hey guys, and welcome to Pitch It Live. My name's Adam Belansky. I am founder and CEO of Sierra Pacific Group, and I also serve as ConnectWise Advisory Council member. At Sierra Pacific Group, we help technology business leaders leverage ConnectWise suite of products such as RMM, Automate, Manage, and PSA, or CPQ, and Sell to get the most out of their systems with proven industry strategies quickly and efficiently. So we've done thousands of implementations, optimizations, and custom projects. So since we started with ConnectWise like 6 years ago, we've done the hard work. We have the answers. So you don't have to learn the hard way like I did when I ran my MSP business. Think of us like a Sherpa to get to the top of that mountain. We listen intently, we set the ropes, we carry the load, and we guide you every step of the way. We know the best path for your business and for yourself to achieve your peak performance through a customized plan and a hands-on approach. So we are here to talk about Pitch It Live. I'm going to bring on my live companion. I'm making it awkward every single time.
I look forward to what's going to be said every time.
I'm like, I've used this term. So Sean Lardo of ConnectWise. Sean, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sean Lardo. I'm Adam Belensky's live companion. I'm also the evangelist for the ConnectWise economy. Also, I am, for lack of, I guess, an easy way to say it, I'm the program manager for PitchIT.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. And today we actually have, so for those that are listening, PitchIT, tell us a little bit about PitchIT.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So PitchIT, it's a way for, on the vendor side, it is a competition, right? It is Shark Tank. We're looking for startup vendors that are actually able to complement and work with all of the MSPs, also be complementary to our ecosystem, right? We came up with the 3 promises: and easier to do business with, invest even more in partner growth, more innovations faster. Period. That's what they were, right? And this is all surfaced around that. This is all circled around that. Now, again, back to the competition itself. It is a Shark Tank concept. However, there is an incubator program involved with it. We run 16 weeks of people learning new things, different things, whatever, various aspects of business. And then between sales, marketing, mergers, acquisitions, whatever, right? But all while doing live streams with people like you, so they can get some exposure, so they can work on their speak, they can get used to being interviewed, they can start getting people to know what their companies consist of. Remember, these are startup companies, so a lot of people, they haven't had exposure yet. The goal was to take however many. Last year we had 18 vendors in it. We had to take it to the preliminaries. Preliminaries took it. We took it down to 3 finalists. The 3 finalists will compete and pitch their companies and their products live at IT Nation in November, on stage in front of judges. By the way, we do have the judges confirmed. I'm not going to tell you who they are yet. That'll be announced later.
I'll get one name out over the next couple of weeks.
No, that won't happen. Nope, not allowed to. But it'll be very exciting. Last year was exciting. We had phenomenal results. This year is going to be bigger and better. The names are getting bigger, which is even better than that. It's just great. We had a ton of great things that occurred. So awesome. Yeah, that's PitchIT.
I know. We need Kevin O'Leary. We need Shark Tank. We need Bill Gates is going to be sitting there. Let's throw out some big names. You said big names. So Jeff Bezos sitting there just judging all the pitches.
Well, that just made me feel very inferior to the whole conversation. So.
Awesome. Yeah. So today we get the pleasure of actually speaking to a contestant previously last year. So I'm going to bring him on, Andrew Hunt from Kambium. Did I say that right?
Good, Adam. Good, Sean. Yeah, that's it. How are you guys?
What's up, Andrew? How you doing, man?
Good, thank you. So, Sean, if you're the live companion, does that make me the dead one? How does that work?
That's a great... No, I think you're live. It's not the companion part. I think that's what changes the companion.
Checking in.
I mean, there's simply no way of telling, Andrew, when it comes to this conversation. So to me, you're my live companion, Andrew. So thank you for being my live companion.
Awesome. Andrew, it's been a bit since we spoke. So for our audience, give us a little background on you, your company, and maybe how you came to existence.
Absolutely. So, look, I'm based in New Zealand, which is a hell of a long way away from you guys who were just talking about. But you're California, Sean's in Pittsburgh. We're in New Zealand, so we're sitting here, a few hours by plane ride and even a time zone away. I've got an MSP here in New Zealand. We've been in business for almost 30 years, about 40 staff, doing a pretty good job in a couple of cities here. And one of the challenges that we had in our MSP was figuring out how to have a strategic conversation with our clients. Because, our clients don't buy stuff because we sell it. Our clients buy stuff because they need it. And the trick is to find out how to uncover what they need in a scalable, consistent fashion. So that's what Get Kambium does. It helps our MSP to engage with our customers in a way that any of our reps can have a same high quality conversation. And what we learned, we've been part of the Evolve program. So a big plug out to the Evolve program, which is also part of the ConnectWise ecosystem. We sent the Evolve program in our group a couple of years ago, and they said, hey, this is brilliant. Can you share that with us? And little did I know that would lead us on the path that we're here today, talking about this product that we've gone from an internal tool to an external tool that's solving real world MSP problems today and every day. So we roll up and say, we're going to take this thing to the world. How the hell do we do that? The world's a really big place, and how do we engage? And so the PitchIT program was put to us. Hey guys, sign up for the PitchIT program. So we did that. Last year we were pre-revenue. We weren't MVP. We were still building out our product when we started. And I think one of the things, Sean, Adam, is that you obviously try to talk to people and say, hey, get involved in PitchIT. There's going to be businesses out there that are still sitting there testing out whether they've got a proposition, how do they express it, which is the whole point of this program. And that's where we were this time last year. We didn't have MVP. We had a few customers trialing a pilot version. It was a bit rough around the edges. We weren't ready to go to market, but we sure as heck had to start getting our ducks in a row and line up what we wanted to say. And that's what PitchIT did for us. It gave us some real exposure to the ecosystem, to the various networks, to some of the characters and personalities that are in the program, to some of the numbers, some of the techniques. And for me, it was a massive eye-opener, because to me, it's had absolutely no comprehension, as I say, from running an MSP to what the vendor side looks like. And to be honest, even now today, a year later, we probably only have a slightly better idea. There's still so much more to it. And PitchIT really is our wayfinder for us into uncovering some of that. Now that we have got past MVP, we now have a product. We've taken it to a couple of shows. We're now ready to move into the next phase. And so again, we're hoping to get back involved in PitchIT, because there is just so much there that we need to unpack further in order to take our innovations out there and share them with the rest of the community.
Awesome. So yeah, starting from basically nothing last year, right? And building up a product, going through a 16-week program, learning a lot. So how did you feel? Was it pretty intense for you, or what? Because that's going from start at zero to flying a plane in no time.
Yeah, I think intense understates it somewhat. So in the 4 stages of learning, you've got unconscious and competent, conscious and competent, and so forth. We weren't even at the first stage. We are so clueless as to what the world looked like. And I don't think it's just us, by the way. I think there's a ton of people who be listening to this going, what, should I, shouldn't I? So if you're listening to this and you're wondering that, the answer is you should. You've got nothing to lose. Nothing at all to lose but a few hours here and there. For me, some of the PitchIT sessions were some pretty godforsaken times of the morning. And the other thing I really want to shout out is that, Sean, you did a really good job of making sure that you accommodated us being in such an unfriendly time zone. I think there was a couple of guys in the UK as well, and somehow you managed to juggle and find times that worked for everyone. So I want to shout out just to some of the leadership that Sean and his compatriots Louis and Andrea and people like Adam and others in the program were able to bring to it, just to make sure that they were really thoughtful about the companies that they were incubating. We're all here because we'll make a difference to MSPs. And ultimately, that's the goal, the game show nature of it, the Shark Tank that, adds a bit of spice and interest. But the reality is that the program is really, really good. Maybe it's the final 3. We didn't get to the final 3, maybe this year. There's so much value there. And how on earth else are you going to get that knowledge and information unless you do this program? So if you're thinking about it, stop thinking, sign up, fill in the form, get on board, we'll see you on the program, I reckon.
I'll just go ahead and put the little link right down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, right. So there you go. So I'm supposed to be pitching my software, and here I am pitching your program. How does that work? What has gone wrong? Sure, you're trying to pitch me next.
No, but I want to dig into something. So first off, thank you for shouting out to Andrea and Louie and myself. I appreciate that. But what I really want to talk about is you already started to dig into some things, like, Adam and I were preparing like the agenda and questions for you, which we didn't give you any questions prior to, because we wanted to actually just do it off the cuff, right? And you started answering them without us even asking so far, by the way. So like you've ruined most of my 80% of my questions you've ruined. So thank you. But
I take great pleasure in knowing that.
So you started to discuss, you were an MSP, you still are doing well. You solved the problem you solved for was like, hey, you were trying to figure out how to grow the business, how to start selling.
I mean, what MSP doesn't want to grow, right? So all MSPs want to grow. All
Yep.
MSPs sitting there go, and particularly if you were involved, you're sitting there going, in service leadership, another ConnectWise product, you're sitting there
Yep.
going, here's my target client profile. What do they need? How do I express my value offering in their context? Now, one MSP doesn't need to do that. They all do. One MSP isn't building out a sales team and needs to know that all of their reps engage with their customers in a consistent, high-quality, professional fashion. What MSP doesn't want to give every single one of their key customers a really detailed roadmap, a budget, and then to execute on that roadmap because their sales team and their senior leadership have got a structured program of delivery for their clients. That's what Kambium does. Who doesn't want it? Who doesn't need it? Everyone needs it. Pretty obvious. But we've got to tell them about it. If we don't tell them, they don't know. Sorry, I'm bugging up your question, Sean.
Oh, that's you're already answering it again over top of everything. So I appreciate that. So let's go on to the next piece of this now, right? You moved on into the PitchIT. You became a vendor. You were infancy stages of doing this stuff. So, there's a lot of MSPs, or I don't see the difference when it comes to talking about startup vendors and MSPs and small to medium-sized businesses. It's a lot of the same factors involved, right? Because you're still trying to figure out your business and run it, right? So even with that said, like from after the program, what did you learn and what's a takeaway you can give to these vendor startups or MSPs that are watching this too?
So I think firstly, as an industry, we're full of people that are innovative. If they're not innovative, get out of it. You're in the wrong place. And we sit there saying to our customers, here's how we help you apply technology to achieve your goals and your rocks. This is your business plan. These are the things you need to do. Our customers are exactly the same. So look, to people listening, I've sort of lost track of the question here. I'm getting back into my sales pitch. See, I was learning. Why would you, if you want to go and take your innovation out and share it, what else are you going to do? How else are you going to do that? How else are you going to find out who the players are? How else are you going to go? I mean, so ConnectWise did a great job of supporting us through, and even today, I've been talking to some of your colleagues, Sean, about getting some help to come to some of the meetings in North America. So North America for us, it's a 16-hour flight. It's a few $1,000s before we even turn up. And I really appreciate the support we're getting from the ConnectWise team to do that. And I sit there and go, you know what, we're a ConnectWise PitchIT player from 2022. We've certified, by the way, if you're also in this program seriously, you need to do the ConnectWise Embedded Certification Program. You've really got to get that done. That gives you the tip. And again, people like Matt Preston and others on that team go through your product and they help you make sure it's secure because all of your MSPs that you're selling to want to know that your product's going to be secure. So they help you go through that. The second thing I do is I sit there and go, you know what? This would be better if you did this or that. And so we integrate pretty closely with ConnectWise PSA, as it's now called. ConnectWise Managers, it's seared into my brain. ConnectWise PSA, and people like Matt sit there and go, you know what, that's a really great idea. And if you just did this and this and this, it would be so much better. And here's how you can help MSPs drive value through the ConnectWise toolset. Again, how else are you going to do that? Suddenly you've got a competitive advantage. And every time you're talking to ConnectWise and you say, hey, I'm from such and such, they go, yep, you were in PitchIT. Yep, you're an event. We know who you are. We'll take you seriously because these guys are being flooded with folk bringing in their ideas.
Yeah.
But being in PitchIT and being an event really gives you that validation that you're serious. And the gateway to get into those programs is simply filling in that URL that Adam had on the screen a second ago.
Yeah. So it's about identifying with others, finding authority through co-branding, and also investing. Because I did another interview with another group, and he said that he was working with a company, and he tried to help them, and they were like, "We're going to take over the MSP space, our project," and they were there for a week and gone, like maybe a month at most, and that's because they made no investments.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, we're spending, I think, 10 to 1 marketing to development. And I think that's a pretty common ratio. But I don't know how this Indian translates into North American dialogue. But down here in New Zealand, we've got a saying, and it's called "piss or get off the pot."
We have it here too.
I think we use that term here. That's definitely
okay.
Used here.
That's global, is it? That's the global one. Cool.
That's a global. We all know it's the same for everybody. Yes.
It's totally
Great.
different direction.
That has actually one of the cool things is sometimes in some of the sessions I sit there and I say something that for us is just run of the normal stuff, and someone comes back and says, "What did you mean by that?" And I said, "Thinking, doesn't everyone know what?" I'm trying to remember some of the idioms now, but that's actually one of the really interesting things in this global marketplace is that we all have local idioms and sayings.
Absolutely. So okay, and I have another question. I know Adam, you have a question too. So, I saw you at IT Nation Connect in November.
Yeah.
You guys sponsored a booth there. How were you able to translate to actual production being there? Like how was it received by the people that were there, all the MSPs? And what are some tips that you have from what you learned there to do for future?
So firstly, we'll be back. So I think the thing hey listeners, you're going to make mistakes. It's not what Sean wanted to hear, but you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get out there and try things. You're not going to go. No one's going to go the way you want. The way to avoid mistakes is to listen to programs like this and hear what others have done and avoid that. The mistake we made was we didn't book the demos for our product at the stand. We said, we'll get back to you. And then North America has this thing called Thanksgiving, which I really have very little awareness of. And Thanksgiving's right after IT Nation. So we had a whole bunch of really good leads. It was fantastic. But then you go away and time passes. People say, no, get back to me after Thanksgiving. And guess what? After Thanksgiving, they say, get back to me after Christmas. And suddenly that lead has gone. And I was listening on the program and said, you've got to get into it. You've got to be quite aggressive about these sessions. Turned out to be true. So we had a really good stand. Really clearly articulate your message. You've got to be out there and engage. You can't stand at your booth and look at your shoes and hope someone's going to come and talk to you, because they ain't. You've got to get out there and engage with folks. You've got to get out there to around the lunch tables and the dinner tables and talk to the person sitting next to you and across the table and engage. And Sean, you came up and gave us a bit of a nudge out there at one point. You'll remember we were sitting in the bar having a quiet drink, which is something that we do, and told us to get the hell out of there, get out and talk to folk, which was just the sort of kick we needed, because sometimes you're regret, you just want to sit back.
Sure.
So the lesson for me at that was have a clear message, which we did. Have something that stands out, which we did. Have the good conversations, which we did, but then turn that into bookings and meetings and demos there and then. Don't wait. Hey, I can do this for you today or tomorrow. Next week I'm fully booked. I can't do it. If you're interested, and you've got to be qualifying interest on the stand, because people want to be polite and say nice things to you, but nice things isn't new users. So you've got to close, A, B, C, always be closing. I don't know if that's the question you asked. We actually did IT Nation in Gold Coast in Australia as well, just beforehand. And that was spectacularly successful for us. We signed up an absolute ton of new partners there. We're still signing up some, because you get this sort of long tail with the interest is there, the demo, and you do get ongoing interest. But I think the same thing's true of the US event. But you just got to always be on your game.
Yep, for sure. So I know we have a hard stop here at 10:30 Pacific time. So I want to ask you to be a little bit vulnerable. So I'm just curious. So you started the PitchIT program. Did you feel that you had one aspect, like I know what I'm doing, I know what I want, but then you get in the program, it's like, well, yeah, I don't know any of that.
I think we got into the program knowing that we didn't know a ton of stuff, and for us, there's some cultural pieces as well. And again, there'll be people listening to this program from all around the world who use ConnectWise. So it was useful for that. I think you start off, and as I say, there'll be people coming in from various stages, people who've got an idea that's forming, and I think roughly maybe a third to a half of the folk last year in the program were in that stage where they're testing out and saying, is this something I want to invest in further? Because you're going to invest some pretty big bucks. And then through to people who'd been there, done that, and are now starting to move on to execute their marketing plan. So we were still building our minimum viable product, but there were others that had done that, and we've done your market validation, starting to move on to the next phase. And it's going to be people in all those ranges of state. We got in there not even aware of those stages, to be honest, and we knew we had an idea. We had some people saying it's a good idea. We didn't know what to do next. What I didn't know is extraordinary. And I'm going to tell you now, a year later, that what I don't know today is still extraordinary. The amount of stuff. In fact, I've noticed, and my children tell me this, that I know less every day than the day before. And I think that's true of the PitchIT program as
Yeah.
well. And also the environment's changing too. So the marketplace is changing. There's new players coming in.
Okay.
People like
So-
Matt Solomon, channel program, and so forth. There's new folk coming in, new ways of doing stuff all the time. It's not static.
Nice. So let me ask you one more on that. So what was the biggest obstacle you had to overcome inside the PitchIT program? What was the biggest challenge you had to overcome?
Inside here. It still is. It's in here. It's inside you. It's inside your mind. It's you put barriers up in front of you. You get for most of us as humans, we know what we tell ourselves we can't do things, and we have to sit there and say, you know what, that person who I'm looking at and admiring was where I was once upon a time. So if they can do it, so can I. I think the biggest challenge is in your mind, and that's one of the great things about the PitchIT program is that you hear from folk who've done it before and been successful. And I really want to commend the sequence of speakers and folk that you had there, Sean. There's a lot to take in. There's actually more to take in than you can consume. It's so rich with information. You get more coming at you. It's like, as they say, they're drinking out of a fire hose, and that's exactly true. I think if we do it again this year, which we're keen to do, there'll be 2 or 3 of us on those sessions trying to absorb it because there's so much to take away, so much gold.
Agreed. That's good. And I'll even give you accolades now. Yeah, you had a private, quiet drink, and I said, I think the terms I said was get your head out of your ass and get back to work. Kind of, I believe that was the conversation. Because I know, because I've been here.
I think there was some 4-letter words involved as well. Yeah.
Grab a cigar.
Yeah, exactly. You can have a drink together, but when you get back home, right? And but you guys then went out, and then I saw you the next day even, and you said, we closed 3 clients just by being on your game, by just following the process, scheduling, and going. So like full circle, not only did you took my advice of just go, but then you also used you applied your own solution. That's what you do. Because you can have a process, you can have content, but you have to actually apply it. You have to actually execute on it, right? So you guys did that. And I mean, again, and so from those clients, how are they doing these days?
Oh, they're going really well. In fact, I've got a call in with one of them in a couple of hours' time just to check in on them. So I think they're going really well. I'm trying to remember who they were, to be honest, Sean, because it's quite a long list. And again, you've got people coming at you in different directions all of the time. I'm really proud of the product that we put together. I know it makes a difference for managed service providers. I know it helps MSPs to retain clients, to build revenue from existing clients, and to differentiate themselves when they find new ones. My view is that, as I said earlier on, people don't buy technology because they want it because it's shiny. They buy technology because they've got a problem to solve. Our job is to uncover that. And if we go around, and a lot of MSPs are out there right now making money out of selling cybersecurity. And so they should, right? Cybersecurity is a big issue. It's a big risk to mitigate, but it's one of many risks that businesses have to mitigate. And so if all of your growth is intended around cybersecurity, that's a good short-term game, but and a long-term game, because cybersecurity has been packed into all of the large vendor products that we're buying, including from ConnectWise. The game that you can never be outscaled on is having intimate knowledge of your clients, getting intimate with your clients, know what they need, know what their goals are, what new services they're trying to bring to market, what processes they are trying to automate, what costs they're trying to control, what risks they're trying to mitigate. Because all of those things have a technology element to them. Technology helps them do all of those things. And if you're not the person they're talking to deliver that technology solution, then they're talking to somebody else, and you're not their trusted advisor. That's our pitch. Pretty simple. And again, just trying to get it down to that nutshell is exactly what we learned from the PitchIT program.
You guys did it yourself. You did a nice job with trimming down your conversation to what you guys do, because what you do is much more robust. Because technically what you guys do touches every element of what an MSP sells to their end users. So you could literally go into so many different conversations about what you guys do. And you guys trimmed it. I mean, you had 5 minutes to do a virtual presentation. So, and there was no getting away from that. There was no getting out of that. So 5 minutes and you were done.
So, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And look, we learned an awful lot. We started off thinking that our product was one thing, and by the end of PitchIT, we realized it was another.
So what did you think it was, and what do you know it is now?
we started off thinking that VCIO, we started off with one view of what VCIO was, and we came away thinking about actually its customer engagement. It's not about doing what a CEO does. It's about actually how do you engage with a customer to understand their needs and then make sure that the services you're delivering match those requirements and you can show the value you're bringing to your customer. And a lot of these things that you do a roadmap and a plan for the customer. Here's the plan, and they go put it on a shelf and gathers dust. And a year later, you go back to review it and you actually done nothing of it. And so the trick is to uncover what they need and then to execute on it. And what we learned was that if you do that, then suddenly you're engaging with the senior management of your customer. You're getting a really rich relationship with the client, and you're building that trust that's so important. And if you want to have a good relationship with your customer, you've got to do that. It's pretty simple. In this world where we can't find people, we've got this massive, global, since COVID, this massive global shortage of talent. Being able to help your newest and most green people in your customer engagement team to have a higher quality engagement with their customer, to give them the tools and skills to do that, instead of simply throwing them out there hoping that they do okay, because they're not going to give them the support. Giving them something, some structure to help you do that properly. That's going to be the secret to being able to succeed in this very interesting post-pandemic world that we're in.
Perfect. I love that. I'm glad you saw the difference too, and you actually went into their world. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Cool. So last few minutes here. So what advice would you give to startups or people that are looking to apply to this program?
So I think that startups there'll be people looking at this, you go, I definitely want to be in. I've got a product, I want to go out there and take it to market. So for you guys, why wouldn't you sign up? What do you got to lose? A few hours. Well, in exchange for those few hours, you're going to learn a ton of information. You're going to make a whole bunch of contacts. So the first thing is for those guys sign up. Then there's going to be a few people listening in who see you going, well, I've got an idea, I'm kind of developed, but I'm not sure. You should sign up too, because the same reasons apply. You've got nothing to lose. And what you're going to learn is whether or not your idea is, because if you go forward with your idea, you're going to spend a ton of money. Make sure you spend it. And so by the way, no matter how much you spend your money, you're going to waste a whole heap of it, no matter what. But you can waste less and get a better result and have more successes by getting involved in the program and learning from the people that have gone there and done it before. And I can't think of a better way to engage with folk that have done it before than through the PitchIT program. And that has been a real value of this, is that you can talk to folk who've walked in your shoes. They know how you feel. They know your anxieties. They know your opportunity. They know what worked for them and what didn't work for them. And they're happy to freely share that advice with you. If you don't sign up, frankly, I'll be really blunt here, you're stupid if you don't sign up.
That's how it is. I mean, again, I'll just throw up that banner. Andrew, it's been a pleasure. I know you have a hard stop at 10:30, so I thank you very much for your time today. It's been awesome to get to know you more, see what you've evolved into, see your company grow. Definitely go check out Get Kambium. Kambium, sorry.
Get Kambium.com. Maybe you put it up there in the chat or in the post.
We're going to put the website in.
Actually, we're on the ConnectWise blog as of today. So there's a new blog on the ConnectWise Marketplace blog right now, just gone up in the last couple of hours. Check it out. You'll learn all about us on the ConnectWise Marketplace blog. Here you go. That's another point of activity.
Look at you just plugging away. Andrew, you're like our greatest advocate all of a sudden. My God.
This
I'll
is
send
great.
you my bill later.
It'll be
Kia ora, guys. I got to run. I've got to run and get to
Andrew,
Thanks, Andrew. Take care, dude.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, Andrew's the man.
He is. It's been awesome. So, Sean, let's talk about the program a little bit, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So that was fantastic. Andrew, it seems like he just pitched the whole thing. It's really awesome.
He totally did. I didn't have to say a word. Like, we had all these questions and just nothing. And make sure you find Andrew, getkambium.com. We'll put that in the show notes.
Yes.
And actually, I do love the fact that he's like, if I could be candid, I was waiting for something way worse to be said. He's like, quite frankly, you're stupid if you don't sign for the program. It was awesome. So what questions do you have in there with Get Kambium? Adam?
Yeah. So it's really, Kambium. Sorry, apologize for that. And I learned that that was actually a tree. It's like something about the tree, if I remember right. So the Kambium. So
Yes. Next.
yeah. So pitch it this year. Startups. If you've been really, even if you've been operating for a bit, but just really haven't like gone to market yet, right?
Yeah, I mean that's so we're looking for when we're looking for startups, we like them. We don't want somebody with just a proof of concept that had an idea. This is not that invention website that you call and you plug your idea, maybe something comes from it. We like you to have, something happening here, right?
Yeah.
We like you if at all idea have customers, have some revenue. You know what I mean? That would at least because the one thing I want to stress is as he just mentioned, Andrew's mentioned the fact that 16 weeks of this is workshops that you're getting all these classes. So if you haven't had any real experience, you're going to get bombarded. You can't even apply. It's like anything. You when you do something, you can, if you come back into some classes later, you can tie it to something you've done, and then it makes sense, right? When you don't, when you're starting from zero, empty canvas of nothing, it's where do you go, right? There's no focus. It's noise. So you should be doing that now. If you look at all of our last year's participants and a year before and a year before that, and actually, if you look at all the winners, even there's a percentage that are actually MSPs or were MSPs. So they know what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
awesome.
We do. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's really cool. So last year we had 3 finalists competing on main stage. So after the 16-week program, 3 competitors on stage. It was awesome seeing them at Connect, and they compete for a big prize, cash prize.
They do. They do. So
this year we're doing the same thing.
We are. So we again, this is all for. I want to be clear. There's a prize, right? We know there's a prize, cash prize. First place takes home 70 grand. Second place takes home 30 grand. Okay. Although, in talking to all the people that were part of the program last year, the big prize really was they learned how to navigate the ecosystem. They learned how to find scalability and profitability from this, and you're going to be hearing from them over the course of some time that we're going to talk to them again, but they all had an increase in monthly recurring revenues by a lot. Lead generation increased. Also, they got better at doing their own talk, their own pitches. Matter of fact, before we went live, Andrew was saying, hey, I realized I'm going to start doing these live streams in New Zealand and in my area because nobody's doing them like this. So I need to get, so they actually got new ideas of how to go to market. So it's great to watch it. It's kind of like watching your child go off to college and come back and do stuff
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. It's really, really awesome. And then, so after, so I guess let's talk about like our agenda. So over the next month or so, we're actually talking to a lot of previous contestants.
We are. So, we're gonna stay busy on this. We're gonna keep pushing this agenda and this initiative until everybody understands that we have to support the emerging vendors to keep them. MSPs, your end users are asking for this stuff. They're looking for ways to do better, to be more efficient, to be more effective, right? And also bring down costs in some cases. MSPs, you're trying to figure out how to do all this as well with them and with yourself. And you're always, and if anybody looks at the CompTIA report where they talk about all things that should be offered as an MSP, there's all these other technologies that are being created now that are innovative. So it's our responsibility as a community to invest in the community to strengthen and boost it, right? That's the point. So we'll keep pushing this until people start really accepting the fact that we all as a group have to collectively help each other, period.
Yeah, awesome. Sean, it's been fantastic again. My virtual companion, my live companion. I can't wait till I enter you next time. It's going to be something different.
I feel so special. I'm going to start listing the words down so I can, like, next to my name, how they said like MD and PhD. I'm literally going to use those.
Yeah, exactly. It's been really, really slick. If you're sitting here listening live, definitely check out the link, connectwise.com/theitnation/pitchit. Application window is open right now, and apply. If you have an idea, that actually it just needs a little kickstart. You actually have something that it just needs a little bit refining, not just the idea, right? We want a business.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got in that startup mode, right? So definitely apply, and it doesn't have to be just SaaS, right? There's a lot of different programs out there, a lot of different tool sets and that are not SaaS, that just consulting and so forth, and just it's great. So
Absolutely. I agree. They should look at it. And if you're not ready to apply and be part of the program, just keep watching these videos, keep watching these live streams, because we'll start keeping tabs. Like once the actual season kicks off, which will be in May, we're going to be having the new contestants on here to talk about their experience, what they're going through. They'll introduce you to their product line, their solution, how they're doing things, how they came about, just like we did with Andrew today. But then moving forward, you're going to start hearing about how, based off of workshops, based off of different things that have happened, where they are. So at least you can see, maybe get some tidbits for your own business.
Awesome. Sean, pleasure. Thank you. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll talk, I think, next week or the week after, something like that.
Yeah, we're scheduled like all the time. So you're right.
Yeah.
Toodles.
Peace out. Talk later, guys. Bye-bye.